How many more news specials, TV appearances, and public displays is it going to take to prove that black women can't find a black man who is on her level or who isn't secretly sleeping with other men? This is not a good thing. We are not this pathetic. We are sabotaging ourselves by continuously doing this. Back in the 1980s and 90s, the problem being aired on TV shows was that black men were holding black women back. The women at that time were saying that we were being victimized, held back, held hostage, abused, oppressed, and destroyed by black men. They were bums, they were abusive drunks, they were domineering control freaks, they were pimps, drug dealers, murderers, cheaters. They were all on drugs, they were all in jail, they were purposely getting us pregnant and leaving or getting killed. Black man ain't nothing. The black man was the big bad wolf. By the mid to late 1990s, the black man had gotten mad and tired, and then they started speaking out against black women. They mainly did this in their music, most notably gangster rap and hip-hop. They started in with black women are hood rats, bitches, hoes, baby mamas. They have attitudes. They're on welfare. And the famous nobody wants black women. And today, they've gone public with it via the internet. Okay, so now it's basically a public hate fest going on between black men and black women because the men finally got fed up and the women feel that nothing is changing for the better, but it's only getting worse. A lot of black men have decided to move on to other races of women or to denounce marriage altogether. Black women, in an attempt to counter what the men have been saying and doing, have now begun to take a different approach. But again, they are using the media to do it. First of all, please recognize that the television networks and the media as a whole are not a friend to black people, and the media is used to target groups of individuals at will. Okay, so instead of going on TV and being portrayed as straight up victims as in the past with complaints of being brutalized and oppressed by black men, now it's a superiority play that's being used. We are so successful and independent that we can't find any black men on our level, and black men won't step up to the plate, a legitimate complaint for some, or black men are on the DL. However, what these women do not seem to understand is that this is even more destructive for black women than the public displays of the past were. And I'll explain why. First of all, we're missing the big picture. Back in the 1980s and the 90s, when black women were on Oprah, Phil Donahue, Ricky Lake, Sally Jessy Raphael, Jenny Jones, etc., even though black men were being bashed unabatedly, they were at that time still pretty much loyal to black women. So it was not making us look bad. It was only making them look bad because more than the majority of us were still getting married. Everyone jumped on the black male bashing bandwagon. It became socially acceptable for anyone to bash black men. They were the target at that time. What black women didn't realize was how this was actually affecting black men. People often think of black men as emotionless robots or savages devoid of feelings. They can take it. It's just tough love. It'll make them conform. But black men are human beings and they do have feelings. Imagine hearing that crap all the time. I can barely stand to hear the negative things I've been hearing about black women just over the past couple of years. I can't even imagine hearing it for 20 or 30 years. Now, best believe the psychological consultants and the therapists that work for these networks and talk shows knew exactly how all of this was going to affect the psyches of black men, and the media used this to their advantage, and they are patient. They knew that this continual bashing would come to a breaking point and cause anger and frustration and possibly insecurity among black men, while at the same time instilling confidence and a superiority complex in black women, thus bringing about irreparable discord and higher ratings for their shows in the future. You can believe that or not. It's your choice. I'm not one to promote conspiracy theories, but mind control and propaganda seem to work quite well on us. Now, sisters, how are we sabotaging ourselves? Okay, number one, we're continuously going on national and international TV with the same complaints that we can't find any black men on our level. We can't find any black men who can step up to the plate. We're too good for most black men. We can't find any black man who can handle a strong, independent black woman. Most black men are on the DL. Sounds like black men are the problem, doesn't it? At the same time, the media that we keep running to is playing up the fact that black men are able to find and marry women of any race. Black men are not complaining on national TV about not being able to find a black woman or any woman to marry. And the media is not pursuing them to appear on news programs or shows on that subject. We can harp on down low black men all we want, but the media is harping on the fact that black women are constantly having babies out of wedlock and contracting AIDS at a higher rate than anyone else. The media is quick to point out that black women are the least married and have the highest percentage of being single mothers and new AIDS cases. And this is what is being focused on by the media. The media that we continuously run to as if it's some sort of safe haven or protector. Notice how we are suddenly being shown examples of black men who are successful and are able to find a wife with no problem, and how we are continuously being shown all these black men with women of other races. 22% married outside of the race in 2008. They made sure they featured that in a news program, and they emphasized the fact that black women have not followed suit and are being left in the cold. Also, while we're complaining, certain issues and stereotypes that are well known about black women, which may or may not be true in all instances, but are well known stereotypes, are constantly being displayed and promoted by this same media. And some are being celebrated by us. First, the issue of weight. Look at how they hyped up Gabrielle Sidibe as if she was supposed to be some kind of sex symbol or the epitome of black beauty or something. Being overweight is not, cannot, and never will be a good thing. Celebrating being fat and acting like it's okay or something to be proud of makes us look ridiculous. Now, I know my saying this is going to make somebody mad, but let me explain further. Obesity and obesity-related disease is a major killer of black women in America, period. So the health risk in and of itself makes it stupid to celebrate it. For most men, no matter what race, it is simply unattractive. Being overweight is not good. It denotes ill health and an inability to properly take care of oneself, regardless of that being true or not. And in most cases, it is true. If you're overweight, you're probably not taking good care of yourself. The second issue is the attitude. We just got that swag about us. We just got that sass. And I'll be the first to admit that, yes, black women do have a certain sass to us that other women don't have and often try to imitate. However, in excess, that sass becomes attitude and is far from attractive or desirable, and when it is displayed, celebrated, and made fun of by the media, it makes us look stupid. It's not necessary to put one finger up and roll our necks around in order to get our point across. But the media portrays us that way a lot, and we accept it and celebrate it. There is nothing strong about acting ignorant and nothing about belligerence that conveys independence. A woman appearing to have a domineering presence is a turnoff for most men, regardless of race. Another issue they continue to bring up is the high growth rate of HIV and STDs in black women, and we throw that off on black men as if opening our legs has nothing to do with it. Based on our own appearances on these shows, we are not getting these diseases from husbands, okay? Going to the media and complaining about not being able to find anyone to marry us makes it that much more difficult to find someone. It's not making people say, wow, look at them. Look how strong, independent, and successful they are. Wonder why they can't find anyone. No other race of women is going on TV saying this. No one else at all is going on TV saying this. So what makes black women so unique? Blaming it on black men is making it even worse. Using the excuse of I only want a black man, or we're trying to remain loyal to black men, is not making us look good either. If black men are as bad as these women are saying they are, why would anyone be trying to remain loyal to them? Why would somebody be trying to remain loyal to a lowlife or a deadbeat who is in jail or is on the DL or has AIDS? It makes no sense. I mean, do they really think that by going on national and international TV and talking about black men in this manner is going to make them suddenly change if this is how they are? Do they think that this will make black men want to change or be shamed into changing in order to be acceptable to women who feel this way about them? Do they think that this makes us more desirable to black men or anyone else? Why say that you want a black man and then go on national TV and say that you can't find one that is good enough for you because they're all gay, have AIDS, all are in jail, have babies all over the place, all are dumb or thugs, and then top it off by saying all the good ones are married to white women? So the ones who are good enough don't want you and are with white women. What a way to put yourself down in front of the entire world. What is happening is that we're not only making ourselves look stupid, but we're also making ourselves undesirable to everyone. White men or men of other races are not watching these shows and going, those dumb black men, look at those desirable black women. If they don't want them, we'll take them. Let's be real. They're looking upon us negatively. Everyone is. Why are black women the only ones on earth complaining about not being able to find anyone? What it looks like, whether it's true or not, is that we are pathetic and that we are the problem. No one else is complaining. Everyone else seems to be finding each other with no problem. Why go on national TV and profess to the world that we are the only unwanted misfits on earth? Is that the image we're trying to project? There's no reason to continue to do this because it isn't bringing about any solutions. No matter whether you want a black man or are open to expanding your horizons or exercising your options or whatever, or are fine being independent and alone, nothing positive is coming out of these publicly televised displays. Nothing. It's just making us look ridiculous.